call the member for Deakin.
Well, thanks very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. And the Commonwealth Government has a number of obvious roles that we are responsible for. But as a local member, one issue that is constantly raised with me and that is at the forefront of my mind at all times is community safety. And it's often said that there's no greater obligation on government than to maintain the good law and order for our citizens, to allow them to go about their daily lives in safety and security. And this year, I've spent a lot of time since coming back from a great summer break speaking to my electorate, and time again the issue of personal safety arises, particularly personal safety for women going about their business. And we've seen in Victoria some absolutely disgusting examples of recidivist criminals who, no surprise to the community, people who have a track record that is an abomination, who are time and time again released back onto our streets to cause mayhem and harm and ultimately tragedy to the lives of decent families. So, as the member for Deakin, one of the areas that I have constantly spoken about, championed, spoken to our state government, written to our state government, cajoled our state government, fought with our state government, is to absolutely review and reform our sentencing guidelines, to review, the entire judicial system as it relates to crimes against women, children, and indeed any serious crimes. Because time and time again, I have people speak to me about changing their way that they go about their lives to accommodate for those feelings of lack of safety. So that may be a woman who gets the earlier train home because she doesn't want to have to walk from the station to home in the dark. We should not accept as a society, we should never accept or allow for people to have to change the way that they go about their lives in order to accommodate people being allowed on the street. And I won't name them because many of these cases are before the courts at the moment, but people who have committed crime after crime, people who have not been sentenced correctly. Indeed, one of the things that I have asked of the Victorian State Attorney-General is to undertake a detailed review into changing our sentencing laws from concurrent to cumulative sentencing. So in short, if you're convicted of 3 crimes at the moment and you're imprisoned, then you're imprisoned for the period of the single crime that has the highest period of, or the highest penalty. We should have cumulative crimes, where if you are found guilty of 3 crimes, then each sentence that applies to those 3 crimes cumulatively adds to your time in jail. And in many of the cases that I've looked at, if those criminals had been behind bars for the true amount of time that they should have been, they would not have been on the street, and that the tragic circumstances of rape, death and mayhem are things that wouldn't be there. Broader than that, though, of course, is our obligation to the safety not just of individual citizens but our entire nation. And I'm very, very proud that last year, through the Crimes Legislation Amendment, Powers, Offences and Other Measures Bill and the Proceeds of Crime Act, we have been very, very keen as a government to look at what levers the federal government can pull in order to ensure that we have the strictest possible regime for criminal offences in this country. Of course, due to our constitutional arrangements, the states take primary responsibility for our justice system. So the Commonwealth Government is limited to the extent at which it can impact these changes. And I'm comfortable, in fact I'm very proud, that this government has done absolutely everything within our purview, within our power, to make sure our criminal laws are as strict as they possibly can. And I'm calling on the Victorian state government, I'm calling on indeed every single state government in this country. Enough is enough. Enough is enough of us seeing these outrageous criminals who are not sentenced correctly continually undertaking these crimes, and we need to reform our sentencing laws.
I thank order. The member's time has expired. I thank the member for Deakin.